Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Destia Faheema, and I'm here to talk about the syllable. So, first thing first, the origin of the word. Syllable is a noun that is originated from late Middle English. It is from an Anglo-Norman French alteration of Old French syllab via Latin from Greek syllab, from sun or together, and lambenin or tape. So this can be inferred that this origin means to describe that syllable is when you take together of several syllable or several alphabets to create a certain meaning. And the next one is definitions. The definition of syllable can be divided into two types, which are purely phonetic definitions and phonological definition based on formal linguistic criteria. So the first thing, purely phonetic definitions, is consisting of straightforward acoustic organic statements such as can be found in most phonetic textbooks. For example, a vowel is a voiced central oral frictionless sound, or a syllable is a sequence of sounds containing one peak of prominence or syllable. And the second one, phonological definitions based on formal linguistic criteria. So according to J.D. O'Connor and J.L.M. Trim, the syllable may be defined as some sort of unit of accent placement, when vowel and consonant can be either derived from the syllable as its central and marginal constituents, two, or treated independently as units of widely different distribution. So as for the current definitions, we can describe it in three ways, like in phonetically, phonologically, or in phonotactics. So the first one, phonetically, it can be described that syllables are usually described as consisting of a center which has little or no obstruction to airflow and which sounds comparatively loud. The second one, phonologically, we can identify syllables by looking at the possible combination of English phonemes with the study called phonotactics. It's simple to start by looking at what can occur in initial position. In other words, what can occur at the beginning of the first word when we begin to speak after a pause. In the same way, we can look at how a word ends when it is the last word spoken before a pause. And the last one, phonotactics. So phonotactics is a branch of phonology that deals with restrictions in a language or on the permissible combinations of phonemes. So it defines permissible syllable structure, consonant clusters, and vowel sequence by means of phonotactic constraints. And there's also practical or operational definition that these definitions helps us to remember it more easily, or it is simply described in a much simpler way. So it can be described as a unit of phonemes with only one vowel sound with or without consonants. It can also be described with a syllable may also be defined as rhythmic unit, and a rhythm is a strong, regular, repeated pattern of movement or sound. So the next one is syllabification. So syllabification refers to the process of division of words into smaller parts, known as syllables, based on the sound they produce. So the method of syllabification involves splitting of words into units of sounds or sounds of vowels. And so yeah, a syllable is a unit of pronunciation having one vowel sound. And syllabification can also be divided in several parts or several things. As for the first one, monosyllabic is when a word only have one syllable, like at or run or dog. The second one is bisyllabic, which only having of two syllables. For example, again, over, and seven. Trisyllabics is when you have three syllables, like tomorrow or tradition. Tetrasyllabic is when you have four syllables, for example, application or capacity. And pentasyllabic is when you have five syllables. For example, communication or anniversary. And the last one, polysyllabic or multisyllabic, is when you have 6 or more syllables in one word. For example, responsibility or syllabification. And that is all from me. Thank you very much for listening. I hope this helps. And yeah, thank you so much.